Hey, real quick before we get into this video, this is our first video going over Union Arena with real cards and our first example match with them as well. So as part of that, we are newer to this card game. It's a new card game and it's not really like any other Bandai card game that exists right now. So we may have made some errors during the game. I don't think we did, but in case we did, make sure to let us know in the comments and I'll make sure to update a pinned comment going over any errors or clarifying any situations or really anything else. So Union Arena is a pretty unique game too, so if you want a tutorial video, maybe I can go over and make that in the next little bit. But I've also made sure that the deck builder on my website, Eggman Events, has been updated with all of the demo cards from the demo decks that are going out during the conventions and events during this season. So if you want to see any of the cards that we played with today, you can check them out on the website. And then also, we had 3 different demo decks. We've got Jujutsu Kaisen and Bleach, which we played with for this one, but we also have the Hunter x Hunter one. If you guys do want us to do another match, an example match with this kind of idea with that new deck as well, make sure to hit that like button. If we get 100 likes, we'll make sure to do a Hunter x Hunter versus one of these other decks. So that's really all I have, and make sure to enjoy the match. All right, we have our game. I'm on the left there with the Bleach deck versus Yomi on the right with the Jujutsu Kaisen. We're going to go to our opening hands with 7. We do have an option to mulligan by putting 7 to the bottom and drawing another 7, but we're both happy with our opening hand, so we're going to put our 7 life down from there. So pretty kind of standard for how Bandai card games work, but we are going to start the game after that. So we do go to 1 action point for going first on the left there, and we're going to use that to play an Ichigo, just a 0 energy body, and we're going to be able to provide 1 energy with it. So I'm going to pass it to Yomi, where she will have 2 action points to use since she is going second. We're going to play the Megumi, being able to provide 1 energy with itself, and then also we're going to use our second action point here to play a Nubara. So this will let us draw 1 and trash 1, and then Yomi will be providing 2 energy to her field with her 2 characters. Going to pass it back to me. Going to have 2 action points to use this turn as well. So it is opening up a couple more plays for us. We're going to start with an Orihime, which is going to return the Ichigo to our hand, but it does provide 2 energy, so that is pretty nice. And then we're going to play the Renji here, so we have 3 energy that we're currently providing to our board. So pretty standard start for both of these. You do just kind of need to start your energy for this, and then we start pushing stuff up into the front line afterwards. So Yomi currently has 2 action points, since you don't get another one going second, but you will at the turn afterwards. Playing the Yuji, now providing 3 energy to her field. And we're going to use 1 more action point here. That now that we're at 3 energy, we have enough to play the Nobara. So it's a 2 energy production card as well, so that is pretty nice. And we are up to 5 energy for Yomi on the right. All right, going back to me, I do have 3 action points now. Quick aside, I do fix it. I did move that up during the movement phase. You do not have to pay the action point cost there for that. So we're going to play the Yuryu there. We're going to get its effect to draw 1 and trash 1, or sideline 1 from hand, and use the action point for that. So again, movement does not require you to use any action points, and we just played the Yuryu instead. We're going to play the Ichigo now for a second action point, getting that back on the board, and then we're going to actually use the raid mechanic. So we are going to raid on top of that, which means we get to push it to the front line active, which is nice. And we're going to start off with a 3,500 BP, and we're going to hit the Gojo in the life. So it's going to use its trigger to just get rid of our Ichigo that we just played, which is a little bit sad. And we're going to attack with the Renji, hitting a Megumi, and go from there. So we only compare the trigger effects from there. Also, technically, you can choose any one of your opponent's life cards. I'm just using the top card because that's what we're used to from other Bandai card games, but it could have been anything from that entire stack. So I'm going to pass it back to Yomi. She's going to have 3 action points, and she's going to raid herself using the Megumi there. Going to push that up to the front line as well, which is quite nice. And currently providing 4 energy with the cards that she has. And with the 2 other action points she has, she's going to play another Nobara for 1. So she's currently providing 6 energy rather, which is quite a lot. And we're going to just go into combat from there. So going to start with the attack from Megumi, which is going to get the reduction on our Renji. So it doesn't get sidelined. It's just a 1000 BP card. But we hit the Getsu here, which does get the special to choose one character on your opponent's side and sideline it. So we do get rid of give the Megumi there a little bit of revenge for the the card we just got hit with the Ichigo on the other side. So we're going to pass it back to me on the left there with Bleach, and we're going to start off with Ichigo once again for 1 action point. We're going to have 4 energy now. We're going to raid a second time. I'm going to push that up to the front line there too. And we are going to go from there. So we have Renji from the back. We're just going to put that there. So we're providing 4 energy once again. And we're going to start with our next Ichigo there. We're going to hit the Yuji. So this is a raid trigger since we do have the energy on the right side. And a Yuji we can raid up there. So we're going to push the Yuji up there and get the additional body on board. So also having impact is quite scary. And we're just not going to be able to attack with our Renji, and we're just going to have to pass from there. So you can see that the triggers in life in this game can be pretty impactful, and you really need to kind of set yourself up to get the benefits from the cards that could be hit out of that life as well. So Yomi's going to start her turn by using 1 action point to draw a card. You can do that before the movement phase and before the main phase. So we're going to use the movement phase. We're going to move up a Nabora up there as well. So currently we're providing only 3 energy to our field. And then we're going to play the Megumi for 1 action point there. So we're going to provide 4 energy as well. And we're going to get the reduction on the Renji. So this means that we won't be able to block with it on the Megumi. And we also have the Divergent Fist too. So now that we have 4 energy again, we do get rid of the Ichigo and get that removed. So pretty good turn for Yomi. We're going to start off and attack with that there. But we have the Bankai there, which is a final trigger, which doesn't do anything unless it's the last one in our life stack. So nothing really there. But we do have the Renji as well. So we're going to use the one in the back line. We could also use the front line one as well, but we're going to push that up. We're going to draw a card off its effect and get it passed back to us. So a lot of raid triggers in this game in particular, but it's pretty even back and forth. We're both generating some bodies on the board, both for life. We're going to start with an Orihime again there for 1 action point to bounce that back to her hand, and now we're providing 4 energy once again. We're just going to play Ichigo out on the front line rested pretty quickly, so which is also a way to play these cards as long as you meet it. And we also have the Getsu, so now that we have an Ichigo, we get to sideline the that there too. So we're going to go with the smaller Renji attack first, and we're going to hit into a Nubara, so Yomi will be able to draw a card off that trigger. And then Renji will attack as well with the 3,500 base one, and it's a Megumi, so we can raid with that again, which would be pretty nice. The when attacking effect obviously doesn't work right now. It will later on Yomi's turn, but it does get another body on the front line, and essentially saves Yomi an action point from being able to push that up, kind of thing. So again, a lot of raid triggers happen for this one, and we're going to pass it right back to Yomi. So 3 action points to work with, currently providing 3 energy based on her field. We're going to use the energy at the start of turn before movement phase to draw a card there, and then we're going to decide if we want to move anything up to the front line. So deciding to not to, moving to the main phase, playing Nabora for a 3rd time, so now we're providing 5 energy. And then we're going to play Domain Expansion, which means we're going to be able to spend 1 action point to get 2, so it's a +1 in action points there. And so 2 action points and 5 energy. We're going to play Megumi into the front line using the when played effect to give -10k to the Ichigo there. So we won't really be able to block with it if we want it to survive. And 1 more action point for Yomi. We'll see what she does with it. Oh, thinking about it. All right, there she is. All right, she's going to be playing out that there, and then we're going to start attacking with our Megumi. So Megumi's minus effect is going to get on the bigger Renji there, so we won't be able to block and keep either of these. We're going to see a Byakuya though from our life, so this is a color trigger, which is pretty unique per color. We get to play 1 purple character with a cost of 2 or less required energy and 1 AP cost, so we're going to play the Ichigo there in active, which means we do have an active blocker here, which is quite nice. We're going to use it, and then we're going to get it passed back to us. So 3 life to 2, but Yomi's got a pretty big board there, and we'll have to see what we get to do here. So I'm looking through my sideline real quick, see if there's anything I want, because purple does like to regenerate some of the cards that are in the sideline, but we're going to draw for turn. And let's see what we do. So we're going to take the minuses off from all of the Megumi stuff. And for 2, looks like we're going to be playing out the Rukia, which is going to be able to get 1 purple character card from our sideline to our hand. And we're going to get our Ichigo back again. It's been doing a lot of work for us so far. And been, hit the sideline quite a bit already. So we're just going to put that into our sideline as is. So we could push it up next turn. And we're going to start with an Ichigo attack in, which is impact, which is quite good. But we're going to hit another Gojo in the life there. So we're going to use that to get rid of our Ichigo, since it does have impact, which is pretty important. Impact is probably like one of the best skills in this game for dealing damage kind of stuff. So being able to attack in with their other bodies, they're going to block there, since Yomi's at 1 life. And it's going to pass back to Yomi there. So looking a little bit dire for her. She's kind of having to put up 4 bodies every turn and be able to block with them. Since we do have that Ichigo with impact in the back there. So we're going to spend the energy or the action point at the beginning of the turn to draw a card before movement phase. During movement phase, we're going to move them up there too. And then for 2, we're going to play the Gojo once again. So Gojo here is gets us a card draw, and it's a 4,000 BP rather. So that does mean that we would be able to block the Ichigo and win the battle, so we don't take the damage with it. So we're going to attack in with the Megumi there into the life. We're going to give the minus to the Renji. We're going to block with our body there and pass back. We're going to attack in once again. It's 3,000, and we do hit the Getsu again. So quite a good card. We're going to use that to get rid of the Gojo, and that put us in a really, really good spot. Just means that they only have 3 bodies on the front line, since there isn't any movement afterwards. We're going to attack, and we're going to block it real quick and pass it back. So I only need to do 1 damage, but there could be a final trigger in Yomi's life that we do have to be careful about. So there's a couple of plays I need to make sure I go through. But I'm going to start off by pushing up the Ichigo. We're going to use the Yuryu there to draw 1 and trash 1. And then from there, from our 2 action points, we're going to put another Ichigo just in case into our sideline, and then we're going to use the Renji ability. So activate main for 1, or place 1 card from your hand to your sideline to give something plus 500 BP. So we're going to use that on the smaller Renji, just to make sure that it can also push some pressure. So Yomi's got the Mabara. It's going to draw her a card, but that's going to get us the game there. So that's a quick game. I hope you guys could follow it. I think Union Arena is a little bit complex on its head, but once you get used to the rhythm of the game, it becomes pretty quick and a lot of fun. So again, if you guys want to see with the Hunter x Hunter deck, let us know. Hit that like button. If we had 100, I'll make a video with that one. And if you guys have any other questions about Union Arena, let us know. This is a lot of fun. Hope to see you guys in the next one.